Okay, Year 11, welcome to number 4 of our Golden Context cue cards. Now this is to do with the nature and nurture debate. Now just to remind you, obviously nature versus nurture is one of the key themes within Blood Brothers. It's to do with the genetics and the environment of how we're brought up. So nurture tends to deal with environment and social influence. And the nature side of things links with genetics and the biological influences that we have. Now, this whole concept of nature versus nurture is by a guy called Skinner, and his ideas regarding this debate are key when considering the devising trajectory that both Mickey and Eddie find themselves in. So I'm just going to write that down for you there and break it down a little bit more so you understand some of the terminology that I've just said. So divisive and trajectory. So Skinner, and this is not Skinner from The Simpsons. So Skinner's ideas regarding, so linking to this debate, are key when considering, so when thinking about the divisive, so something that's causing a disagreement. Trajectory. So the pathway that both Mickey and Eddie find themselves going down. Okay, so Russell is perhaps suggesting that the true influence from the is more to do with the environment and their upbringing. So on the back, I'm just going to pop my quote. So I've stuck it down with sellotape this time because my hand on the other videos looks a little bit like a claw. Okay, so my quote for the nature versus nurture debate. I don't wear a hat that I could tip to the world. Whilst no one was looking, I grew up. So that is a quote by Mickey. And it's a little bit later on, once Edward returns from university, and they're talking about the New Year's Eve party, and poor Mickey is finding himself unemployed. He doesn't have enough money to go out. So I don't wear a hat tip to the world whilst no one was looking. I grew up. Now, already we sympathise with Mickey's situation, and even more so when he's saying that he's had to grow up before his time. He's got lots of responsibility at this point in the play. So this exemplifies Skinner's debate and how he is suffering at the hand of this nurturing. Okay? So I'm going to add here, exemplifies Skinner's debate. he is suffering at the hands of his nurturing. Okay, I'm just going to highlight this little quote. This is obviously quite a long quote, and where the ellipses are, it just means that there's a little part missing, just in case you didn't realise. So here the class divide is also demonstrated, and it's quite dramatic with that point there. So Edward is unable to understand the difficulties that Mickey is finding himself in with being unemployed. And it's almost presenting that the upper class are clueless about the desperation of these working class and their unemployment. So as I said before, I'm just going to repeat it really. So Russell is definitely suggesting that the true influence is from the environment, the way that these two boys are brought up. He believes in the nurture side of things. So I'm just going to add that as a little point here. So Edward is unable to understand the difficulties. And I'm just going to put an A for Edward, if you didn't realise already. So Edward is unable to understand the issues of Mickey, and it's presenting also the idea that the upper class are clueless about the desperation of these working class and their unemployment. I'm going to add just a little quote here about what I was saying before. Russell is suggesting influence is environmental. And just have enough space there. Okay, that one's a little bit squashed in. Hope you understood all that. I shall see you for video number 5.